Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Dorian Gray. I'm going to film a video today for YouTube on how to use Bluestacks and Raid. There's a lot of videos out there that describe this. I think some of them are outdated as there's some new features for Bluestacks that are available. I myself wouldn't play this game or wouldn't have progressed as far without Bluestacks. So I think it's a great tool. It makes some of the things that are less fun in this game, like farming food for your champions a little bit more easy with the macros that you can do, which is one of the things we'll talk about. And the other one is the eco mode, or the frame adjustment that a lot of people do when upgrading gear. You can turn the frames down and it will make the gear upgrade progress much faster, and we'll get into an easy way to do that, kind of versus the ways that are out there now. You will have to make sure that you downloaded Bluestacks. I'll put a link in the description. I don't right now have a link that like pays me or anything. As you can see, my channel is pretty new. I'll just put a general Bluestacks link in the description, and I definitely recommend using it for farming food at the bare minimum. But yeah, let's get into the video. So the first thing that we will show, since it's very easy, is how to upgrade gear quickly. We won't get too much into my champions. We'll find somebody here that has some gear that can be upgraded. Here we go. I'm working on the Sandlash Survivor, and let's say I want to bring this piece up to a level 16. What a lot of people do, right, is they will go up to the menu bar in Bluestacks, and they will tell you to go to settings, and they'll tell you to go to the engine, and they'll tell you to turn the frames all the way down to like 10 and do it that way. There's a much easier way to do it than that, rather than going into the settings and all of that. You click on these three little dots right here, or if you have it in full screen, it'll actually just show up. It's this little, kind of looks like a gas gauge, right? Your fuel gauge or something like that. It's called eco mode. So when you click on it, you can adjust your settings on the fly. So all this does is it's a frame adjustment with one tap of a button. So for some reason, my computer works best on 30. Most people, if you have the basic settings, it works best on 10 frames per second if you haven't played with any of them. So you want to try and see what works best for you. But if I flip this on, this eco mode, boom, that's all I have to do. Now when I go to upgrade this piece of gear, you might want to get to the picture, unlike what I'm doing right now. When I upgrade this piece of gear, it's going to go pretty quick. It definitely speeds it up quite a bit. I just definitely recommend that you only leave this on when you're upgrading gear. If you are playing the game, you'll notice it's extremely slow. But we'll get this piece of gear up to level 16 really fast. Boom, there's 14, 15, 16. Come on. You got to be careful though too, because you can burn through your gold, or your silver, excuse me, very quickly when doing this. There it is, level 16. So I just took a piece from 8 to 16 fairly quick, turned it off. The game goes back to normal. So it's just right here, eco mode. You do have to make sure that your Bluestacks is totally updated. I'll tell you which. I guess if you're watching this video, just make sure yours is completely up to date. I have version 4.240.15.10. You get the picture, right? You can read it. That's the one I have. So if you're watching this video, just make sure your Bluestacks is up to date, because it's a fairly new feature, but it makes turning the frames up and down very easy. And you can roll your gear extremely quick that way. What did I even get on this? Look, I got some accuracy, worthless on Sandlash, but we'll take it. All right. So the next feature I want to talk about are macros. Macros are really great. As you can see, I have the macro recorder pulled out right here. It is this button right here. It looks like a clipboard with like the piece of paper folded up in the corner, or a pointer, I guess. If you click on the macro recorder, it pulls up this window. There's a couple different things you can do. You can record a new macro. You can look in the community for macros. I haven't done this because I don't really think you need to do it. The macro that I'm going to show you how to record is so easy that you can just record it yourself. If you really want my macro, I can upload it for you. because what you can do is you can export macros and import macros, right? And you know, all that kind of good stuff. You can merge macros and all that kind of cool things. I haven't really gotten into merge yet, but I think that there's some cool features and it might warrant another video later, and I'll kind of talk about that when we get to some of the different things you can do with the macros. So as you can see, I've got different macros for different food that I'm leveling up, right? So I've got 2-star food, and then I just put a little note for myself. 2-star food requires 64 energy to fully max. 3-star food requires 160 energy, and you get the picture. And then I've got just a basic replay one. We'll delete this one. That was a macro I was playing around with later. And you can also put shortcuts, which I really like. You don't have to come over here and open the window, or you don't even have to have it open at all. So for 2-star food, I have Control-Alt-2, as long as you're open and selected on the window. 3, 4, 5, and 6 for all of them, and then just my general replay is an R, and it will just fire it up for you. The great thing about this macro, and I'll let one of them run. Let's buy some energy right now. The great thing about this macro is you can adjust it as your campaign farmer gets stronger very easily, right? What you're going to want to do, and I'll give you the basics. You're going to want to go into 12-3 or whatever level that you like to farm. I like to farm 12-3, and you're going to want to go in here, and this is my campaign farmer, Bellower. I go in, start a battle. Will be quick. I think Bellower can do it for me in like 8 seconds pretty consistently. Occasionally he'll get like a 12-second hiccup where he doesn't kill the final guy in 2 hits. He kills it in 3. There we go. So there's an 8-seconder. He does that pretty consistently. All right. So now what you're going to do when you get to this point, if you want to record your own macro, you're going to come over here and you're going to hit record new macro. You're going to click replay, and then you're going to click stop. That's it. All you have to do. So now I've got the macro saved, right? Then this is what we're going to do. I want to repeat this, and I will link all of the data that you're going to need. The way that I have mine set up, right? There's a few different things. One, I have the raid pass, so I'm getting the additional 20% XP from that, and I also have double XP. So if you have those 2 things, it takes 8 battles on 12-3, and you may have to time it to get a maxed out 2-star. So this is a 3-star. This takes 20 battles. So I've already done 2 battles, so we'll make a macro to finish these guys off. I wanted to repeat 18 more times. In the interval between executions, I want it to be about 13 seconds, we'll say. The reason for that is it takes about 8 seconds for my campaign farmer to clear it. Occasionally it takes 12. So I want it to have a little bit of a buffer room just in case something goes wrong. So we'll save that. Now I'm going to run this macro. Actually, we want to do 17 times, I believe, because it's going to do the first initial one. We'll give this a shot. 17 times, and we'll play this macro. Now you'll see it's running up in the top. You can stop it if you want. So you'll see if you watch the replay button, see how it clicked the replay button, and it will just keep running this over. It's running the second time now. Once it goes through this 17 times, my guys will be maxed out, and they'll be ready to be fused and brought up to a 4-star, because these are the 3-star. Couple of things to note. It depends on, again, do you have the raid pass? Do you have double XP? And how fast your champion can farm, all of that. So all of these things need to be kind of tweaked. But I try to stay consistent. I always try to farm 12-3. I always try to only farm when I have the raid pass, and I only try to farm when I have the thing. I am going to skip ahead in the video to when this finishes up, and you'll see kind of, I'll jump back right before it ends. Alrighty, so we're getting really close to the end right now. You can see we're at the 13th time right now. I figured I'd just do a little plug right now. If you guys don't already, follow me on Twitch. It's Dorian_Gray with 2 Y's. And I'll also link some other great streamers in my description below. And also like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. What other content you'd like to see me to do, what tips you have to make my videos a little bit better, anything. Even if you just want to rag on some of the bad things that I've done in this video, or compliment on some of the good things. I can always appreciate some feedback. As you can see right now, we're finishing up. We got 2 more runs to go. 16. This Bellower's helped me out so much. He's such a great farming champion, by the way. Very easy to build up to. So this should be the last one right here. And then you'll notice it just shuts off when you get to round 17. You can see it just disappeared from the top. These guys, oh, I was off by 1. I knew I should have went with my original 18. Well, we're just going to run it through the one last time. So what I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll show you guys this stuff. So these are my macros that I've got built out. This is 2-star, 64 energy. And those are just notes to help me out. And I'll kind of show all of them real quick. If you want to screenshot them or save them, we'll go back up. 64 energy for 2-star. There it is. So now this is what each of my macros has for the settings. I've got repeats 8 times, and it does it for 17 seconds. Now this you have to adjust based on how fast your campaign farmer is. I probably could turn this down quite a bit, maybe to like 15. I made my new macro with 13 seconds and it worked pretty good. So I could probably speed this up a little bit. It's still a little bit outdated. Maybe I'll do that later. 20 times for 3 stars. 44 times for the 4 stars. They get quite a bit higher. 93 times for 5 stars. And this is 194. It doesn't fit all in the box, which is kind of a shame. Bluestacks should fix that. 194 times for the 6 stars. And then my general one, repeat 3 times. You could just put indefinitely and maybe make it every like 10 seconds. It's very tough for things like spider. You know, my times wildly vary. I can have, you know, clearing the spider in 2 minutes, or it can take up to like 3 minutes. So I just have it check every 10 seconds to maybe refresh. And you can have it just do it indefinitely. So that's a good macro to make. So once you make the macro, one of the things that you want to do to make multiple copies of the same one, like I did here, you're going to come down here and you're going to hit export macro, and I want to hit my new macro I made, and we're going to export it. You're going to save it anywhere you want in your desktop, right? And then if you want to remake the macro, the same exact one, I have this exact one duplicated. It's just renamed different, and it's got different settings in it. You just want to re-import it, right? So you're going to import it, macro 1, rename it. We're going to call this macro number 2. Import. And so I already renamed it, and then I can come in here. So that one was 17 times. You want to make your 4-star macro 44 times. Boom. Save. Now this one's 17, and this one's 44. Super handy tool. So yeah, and that's it. That's a really great way to level up food, level up anything. I do have the raid pass, so I get the 100 auto battles. I only use those for 1 stars because you still do have to change out your champions. Again, I'm going to take a look at this merge thing and see if there's a way I can get it to swap out your champions through 2 separate macros. One that starts up the battles, and then another that swaps out your champions, and see if I can get it to keep replaying that. It's going to be really tricky to swap out champions because you don't want it to throw in just trash, right? Maybe if I do like a by rank and then have it do like 2 swipes and just click in 3 random places, but you notice then if I clicked start, I would have missed, right? If it just did that. So maybe I have to go all the way to the end and then click right here. But I'll figure that out later. I'll see if I can put it, and if I get a really solid macro, I'll put it up for everybody to download. But you do have to swap it out. So what I do with my multi battles, and I have another video It's called How to Max Out the Champion Training Tournaments or something like that. And I talk about how I level up champions so quickly. I use my multi-battles in the level 1s, right? And then when I go into my queue, what I do is I go all the way down to my level 1s. I only pick 18 of them, right? Because if you pick 20, one of those champions is going to be maxed out while it levels up 2 more. You want to do it in sets of 3, right? That's how it's going to function the best. So if I did 18 in my queue, 3 on the bench already, that's 21, and it's going to take 21 battles to get them leveled up. 3 battles per on 12-3 with the raid pass. I know it's a lot of information. I'll relax. But I use my multi-battles for this because it's a lot of swapping out. You're doing more swapping out than you're doing actually battling. It's kind of crazy. And then when it comes to 2 stars and 3 stars, I use my macros, right? And the beautiful thing about it is I go like this. I go filter by rank. And then I always try to level up I don't know why. I just like leveling these guys up first. But I'll grab like 3 champions. And then I just hit start. Wait for it to load, and as soon as it loads, I can even do the control 2, fired it up, you can see it's running up there, boom, and this one will run. It's actually going to stop though, right, because I don't have enough energy to complete the run. You notice I only got 48 energy and I had like 52. I need 64 to complete the macro. Right at the end of this, it's going to pop up and it's going to give me a little thing to buy more gems. I'm really flat broke right now on gems and energy and everything. I've been grinding pretty hard. Having these macros can help you burn through energy extremely fast and get things leveled up quickly. So if you spend a Sunday leveling things up, watching anime or playing League of Legends or watching your favorite streamers, again, I'll plug those down below. You can burn through your resources pretty quickly, but it's nice. If anybody else has any questions on any of the things I went over, I want to do a little bit more into BlueStacks. There's still some features that I haven't discussed, like multi-instance manager, which is great if you want to, right here, this one, if you want to have multiple accounts or do like shard openings for people, this thing is a great tool. You can open this up and you can have multiple instances of BlueStacks open at the same time. Tons of great features in BlueStacks. There's tons I didn't talk about, but I definitely recommend downloading it, using it, and again, ask me any questions. If I didn't answer anything in this video, I hope I can help answer in the future. Thank you for watching the video. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate the support. I am trying to start this YouTube channel, and I generally stream most days of the week after 5 o'clock. I work quite a lot of hours at a lumber mill, so most of the time during the day I'm at work and I'm not streaming, but I am at night Eastern. Thanks, have a good one.